Okay, so guys, today we're gonna look at how to create a basic but very fat and well, easy to make big room kick that sounds just quite good in my opinion. Well, the first thing you need to do is get yourself something that can generate sine waves. I find that Sylenth has some interesting features that kind of help you. Let me turn off all these plugins for now. Has some interesting features that help you shape the kick in a way you want. But first I'm going to show you all the individual elements of the kick. So we have a top kick. That's the basic top kick you need. Then there's also a layer of click. Just a simple click. It's just an attack from a kick I like, and I shrunk it a bit, and together they combine as this. So quite punchy. And then there's a low element, which is a sine wave, which you will generate using, partially generate using Sylenth. So right, the basic idea is that. You want to select the sine wave first of all, one voice, because we will be producing this in mono. Basses sound best in mono. You want to pitch it 2 octaves down and then set this decay to about 6.32. Then you want to add a low pass filter, have the cutoff in the middle, lead this at 24 dB and cut it off, right? So that's that. Now you need a pattern, and the basic pattern goes like this. It's for me, for this particular track, which is in the key of A minor, I've selected a corresponding bass tone, which is the A, and particularly the A2 note. You want to set it up like this or like this. It doesn't really matter. I prefer this for the sound of it. Okay, so what do we have then? Let us listen. So right, how do we go about turning that into a big room kick? So first of all, you need to add some distortion, because as you can see, it's basically a pure sine wave right now, and we want to add distortion to that to make it, to give it more presence, to make it fuller. So first of all, I added an amplifier. You can do this tutorial with any DAW, and you could also use FL Studio, for example. You just need, I think, then to use the Fruity Blood Overdrive, and there, I think there's also some similar plugins in there. But for Ableton, you use an amp. I used the lead and selected these settings, and it transforms it from this into this. Right, so that sounds a lot better in my opinion. It has a lot more presence, and as you can see on the spectrogram, there are actually more harmonics in the sound as well. Then I've added a little saturator, which there probably is also a saturator plugin somewhere in FL, where you could really easy get a free saturator plugin online, I think. So I added that, and that transforms from this into this. So that basically provides some presence for the sound. What I then did to top that off was limited using Sausage Fattener, which also adds its own kind of distortion to it. Okay, so see, maybe I went a bit overboard on the Sausage Fattener, but it's kind of part of the sound of this. And then all I did was add an EQ8. And that's basically it for the generated sine wave, right? Okay, so now we need to record that bit to tweak the envelope. As you can see here, I've made it so that the fades don't interfere with the kick itself, which is basically like a manual kind of sidechain. So in Ableton, how to record this, you add a new audio track, you drag it down, you set it to resampling, and you select the record button, select it here as well, and then you just go ahead and record it. Make sure it's on solo, because else you don't want to record the rest of the sounds. Okay, so now you've got this piece of audio, shrink it down a little bit, get rid of this. Right, so let's bring it back to one kick now. And the way to mix this is to listen to both the top kick and the bottom kick. And let's see how it sounds now. Oh, okay, so you could already see, let me pull the low region in. The talk of the kick, for lack of a better term, the attack is gone because of this fat bass layer. So what you want to do is fade that bass layer in instead of having it at full blast already. So Ableton gives you a really nice way to do this using fades. This should be pretty much right. I'm trying to match this here. And you instantly notice, hey, there is more attack on the sound. What we want to do now that we got this, maybe roll this off a little bit. That's up to you. And copy this to 4 kicks. So let's have a listen now. Right, it's starting to sound like how we want it. Get rid of record mode, by the way. Alright, so now you've got that. For a little more attack, I added a little tuck thingy on top. So, let's see. It sounds like this. So once you add that in, you lower the volume a little bit, you get something that sounds like this. And you want to set a level of about -8 dB, and the peak will be, yeah, -9, -10. You could lower it further if you wish. That's really up to you. But now you get something that resembles a big room kick. However, these kicks do not sound so great in isolation, so you need to add, or I don't say you need to add, but you could add sounds with reverb to fill the space, the basic space that it gives you, because there's a lot of room to add sounds here. So I've gone ahead and done that. So I came up with these melody lines here. Oh, let me turn this off. So and you get something like this. Right, so that sounds a lot like what you heard at the beginning of the video. That one was even more carefully tweaked. I believe I extended the sine wave there and then rolled it off at the end, which gives you more control over the tail of the sound. It's just a choice you can make. It's not essential. But basically this is how to create the quintessential big room kick, in my opinion. I'll just upload the full kick to... I'll have that as in the description as a sample you can download. Of course, there's one more thing. In order for it to be so fat and in your face, I've added a limiting to the master. Now, this is definitely not the way to master a record, but if you smash these kinds of kicks with limiters, they start to sound fatter. Look, this is without the limiting. Pretty fat, right? But it's not loud yet. So therefore I add some limiting. I add 2 limiters, and suddenly you know it comes to your face, right? So that's also a very important last step to take. So the samples will be in the description. Please, if you like this video, if it was helpful to you, like this video. Also subscribe to this new tutorial channel, production channel. There will be more stuff coming up. Also check the description for links to music I make with my friends. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.